Welcome to the Stoic Horizon, where Stoic wisdom helps us live stronger. Ever wondered if she's secretly into you, but the signs are too subtle to catch? Miss them, and you'll kick yourself later. Today, we're decoding 7 clues she desires you more than you think, blending Stoic calm with real-world insight. Curious yet? Let's dive in and uncover the truth. Sign number 1. The power of touch. Breaking the physical barrier. When a woman is sexually interested in you, her body literally can't help but gravitate toward yours. It's pure biology, hardwired into our DNA. This statement highlights the primal nature of touch as a signal of attraction. Touch is a fundamental form of communication, conveying a range of emotions from affection and comfort to excitement and desire. In the context of romantic interest, touch serves as a powerful tool for establishing connection, testing boundaries, and escalating intimacy. The initial stages of physical contact are often subtle, serving as HT tests, as described in the transcript, to gauge your reaction and receptiveness. These may involve seemingly innocent touches, such as brushing your arm, adjusting your collar, or briefly placing a hand on your shoulder. These seemingly innocuous gestures serve as a litmus test, allowing her to assess your comfort level and interest without overtly expressing her intentions. If you respond positively to these initial touches, she may escalate the physical contact, becoming more daring and intimate. These escalations might manifest as her hand lingering on your thigh during a conversation, accidentally brushing against you in close proximity, or finding excuses to initiate physical contact. For instance, if you're seated at a bar and she turns to speak to you, allowing her knee to touch yours without immediately retracting it, this is likely an intentional gesture, not a mere coincidence. This seemingly subtle action speaks volumes, demonstrating her comfort level and desire for closeness. The psychology behind this behavior is rooted in the release of oxytocin, often referred to as the bonding hormone. Oxytocin is released through physical touch, creating a chemical connection between two individuals. This hormone promotes feelings of trust, affection, and closeness, fostering a sense of intimacy and strengthening the bond between you. By initiating physical touch, she's not only signaling her interest, but also actively creating a neurochemical environment conducive to romantic connection. However, it's crucial to differentiate between friendly and flirtatious touch. Pay attention to the context, duration, and intensity of the touch. A brief platonic touch on the arm is different from a prolonged, lingering touch on the thigh, accompanied by sustained eye contact. Furthermore, consider her personality and cultural background. Some individuals are naturally more tactile than others, and cultural norms regarding physical contact vary widely. Responding appropriately. When faced with these subtle yet powerful signals, it's essential to respond with awareness and respect. Avoid flinching or acting surprised, as this may signal discomfort or disinterest. Instead, maintain a cool and confident demeanor, making eye contact and acknowledging her presence. If you're interested in reciprocating her advances, mirroring her touch level is an effective strategy. If she touches your arm, you can reciprocate by touching her arm later in the conversation, escalating gradually and always remaining one step behind her level of intimacy. The key is to be mindful of her comfort level and avoid being overly aggressive or presumptuous. Pay attention to her body language and verbal cues, and if you sense any hesitation or discomfort, immediately back off. Remember, consent is paramount, and it's crucial to respect her boundaries at all times. Ultimately, the power of touch lies in its ability to transcend words, conveying emotions and desires that are often difficult to articulate. By paying attention to these subtle physical cues and responding appropriately, you can navigate the complexities of attraction with greater confidence and foster genuine connections based on mutual respect and desire. Beyond the basics, nuances of touch and contextual considerations. While the initial touches may seem straightforward, the nuances of physical contact can be quite complex. The location, duration, and intensity of the touch all contribute to the overall message being conveyed. A lingering touch on the hand is significantly more intimate than a brief brush against the shoulder. Similarly, a touch accompanied by sustained eye contact carries a different weight than a casual, fleeting touch. Consider the environment in which the touch occurs. A touch in a crowded, noisy environment may be interpreted differently than a touch in a more intimate, private setting. Cultural context also plays a significant role. In some cultures, physical touch is more common and accepted than in others. Be mindful of these cultural differences and avoid making assumptions based on your own cultural norms. Furthermore, pay attention to her overall demeanor. Is she smiling and relaxed, or does she seem nervous or hesitant? Her body language will provide valuable clues about her true intentions. If she seems uncomfortable or withdraws after initiating touch, it's essential to respect her boundaries and avoid pushing further. The importance of reciprocity and escalation. As mentioned earlier, mirroring her touch level is a useful strategy for reciprocating her advances. However, it's important to escalate gradually and avoid overwhelming her. If she touches your arm, you don't necessarily need to immediately grab her hand. Instead, you can respond with a similar gesture, such as placing your hand on her arm briefly. This gradual escalation allows her to adjust to the increasing intimacy and ensures that she remains comfortable with the level of physical contact. It's also crucial to be aware of your own comfort level. If you're not comfortable with the level of physical contact she's initiating, it's perfectly acceptable to gently decline her advances. You can do this by subtly moving away or redirecting the conversation. Remember, you have the right to set your own boundaries and prioritize your own comfort and well-being. Beyond the physical, emotional connection and trust. Ultimately, the most meaningful forms of touch are those that are accompanied by genuine emotional connection and trust. Physical touch should be an expression of mutual desire and respect, not a means of manipulation or coercion. By focusing on building a strong emotional connection with the woman you're interested in, you can create a foundation for deeper intimacy and more fulfilling relationships. Sign number 2, talking intimacy, verbal cues and conversational signals. The second major sign, as highlighted in the transcript, is when she begins to steer conversations toward intimate topics. This goes beyond casual conversation, delving into personal and private matters that she wouldn't discuss with just anyone. It typically begins innocently enough, perhaps with questions about your past relationships or your views on dating. However, the key lies in observing the progression of the conversation. If she starts inquiring about your specific preferences, fantasies, or sharing her own intimate experiences, she's doing more than simply making conversation. She's actively creating a bubble of intimacy between you as described in the transcript. By sharing private thoughts and experiences, she's establishing an emotional connection that can pave the way for physical intimacy. This is a deliberate act of vulnerability, signaling her trust and willingness to open up to you. For instance, if she begins sharing details about her massage preferences or inquiring about what makes you feel good, it's highly unlikely that she's simply seeking recommendations for a massage therapist. These are subtle but suggestive inquiries designed to gauge your interest and explore the potential for physical intimacy. The critical aspect is observing her reaction to your responses. If she leans in closer, maintains deep eye contact, and asks follow-up questions about your more intimate answers, She's not merely being polite. She's actively building sexual tension. This is an invitation to reciprocate and engage in a deeper level of conversation. Playing the game right. Engaging respectfully in intimate conversations. When engaging in these types of conversations, it's crucial to strike a balance between openness and discretion. Be willing to share your own experiences tastefully, demonstrating that you can handle intimate topics maturely. However, always be mindful of her comfort level and avoid being crude or vulgar. The key is to match her level of openness without exceeding it. If she's opening up to you, reciprocate by sharing your own thoughts and feelings, but avoid oversharing or divulging information that may make her uncomfortable. Pay attention to her body language and verbal cues, and if you sense any hesitation or discomfort, immediately dial back the intensity of the conversation. It's also important to avoid interrogating her or pressuring her to share more than she's comfortable with. The goal is to create a safe and comfortable space for open communication, not to extract information from her. Remember, trust is earned, not demanded. Beyond the obvious, subtleties in conversational cues. Beyond the explicitly intimate topics, there are other subtle conversational cues that can indicate her interest. Pay attention to the types of questions she asks and the way she frames her sentences. Does she ask open-ended questions that invite you to share your thoughts and feelings? Or does she stick to superficial topics? Does she use playful banter and teasing to create a sense of flirtation? Furthermore, observe her level of engagement in the conversation. Is she actively listening and responding to what you're saying? Or does she seem distracted or disinterested? Does she make an effort to maintain eye contact and show genuine interest in your thoughts and experiences? These subtle cues can provide valuable insights into her level of interest and the willingness to connect on a deeper level. By paying attention to these nuances, you can gain a more comprehensive understanding of her intentions and respond accordingly. The power of vulnerability and authentic connection. Ultimately, the most meaningful conversations are those that are rooted in vulnerability and authentic connection. Be willing to share your own vulnerabilities and insecurities, and encourage her to do the same. By creating a safe and supportive space for open communication, you can foster a deeper level of trust and intimacy, paving the way for a more fulfilling relationship. Sign number 3, intimate gestures. The silent language of attraction. Now let's talk about body language, the silent screamer of sexual interest. This statement underscores the power of nonverbal communication in conveying attraction. When a woman is sexually attracted to you, her body may give away signals that her words might not. These gestures are often subconscious, making them more reliable indicators of interest than verbal cues alone. As the transcript mentions, some key behaviors to watch for include playing with her hair. This isn't just casual fixing. It's slow, deliberate touching, often involving twirling strands or running her fingers through her hair. Exposing her neck. This is a subconscious sign of trust and submission, highlighting a vulnerable area of the body. Mirroring your movements. If you lean forward, she'll lean forward. If you take a sip of your drink, she'll do the same shortly after. This is a subconscious way of establishing rapport and connection. Eye contact patterns. She'll hold your gaze longer than normal, then look at your lips, then back to your eyes. This triangular gaze is a clear indicator of attraction. Consider a real-world scenario. You're telling a story, and she's not just listening. She's fully engaged. Her body is turned toward you. She's playing with her necklace, and her feet are pointing in your direction. These are all signs that she's not just being polite. She's genuinely attracted to you. The psychology behind these gestures is rooted in our primal mating behavior. These are hardwired responses that have evolved over time to signal interest and attraction. They are often subconscious, which makes them more reliable than words, as people can consciously control their speech, but often struggle to control their body language. Responding strategically, reciprocity, and building tension. The appropriate response strategy is to remain calm and avoid drawing attention to these signals, as that may make her self-conscious. Instead, reciprocate subtly. If she's facing you completely, do the same. If she's leaning in, match her posture. Allow the tension to build naturally. This subtle mirroring creates a sense of connection and rapport, further enhancing the attraction. Beyond the core gestures, expanding the body language vocabulary. While the gestures listed above are common indicators of attraction, there are many other subtle cues to watch for. Pay attention to her posture. Is she standing or sitting tall, with her shoulders back and her chest open? This posture conveys confidence and attractiveness. Does she fidget or seem restless? This may indicate nervousness or excitement. Observe her facial expressions. Is she smiling and laughing frequently? Does she make an effort to maintain eye contact? Does she raise her eyebrows slightly when she looks at you? These are all subtle indicators of interest. Also, pay attention to her proximity to you. Does she stand or sit close to you? Or does she maintain a distance? Does she lean in when you speak, or does she pull away? Her proximity to you is a direct indicator of her comfort level and desire for closeness. The importance of context and interpretation. As with all signs of attraction, it's crucial to interpret body language within the appropriate context. A woman who plays with her hair may simply be nervous or self-conscious. A woman who exposes her neck may simply be trying to cool down. A woman who mirrors your movements may simply be trying to be polite. The key is to look for clusters of signals and to consider her overall demeanor. If she's exhibiting multiple signs of attraction and seems genuinely engaged in the interaction, it's more likely that she's interested in you. However, if she's only exhibiting one or two signs and seems uncomfortable or hesitant, it's best to err on the side of caution and avoid making assumptions. The power of observation and intuition. Ultimately, the ability to read body language effectively relies on a combination of observation and intuition. Pay attention to the subtle cues that she's sending and trust your gut instincts. If you feel like she's attracted to you, there's a good chance that you're right. However, always remember to prioritize respect and consent and avoid making assumptions or pushing her boundaries. Sign number 4. The invitation to private space. Decoding the subtext. Let's talk about one of the most obvious signs that most guys still manage to miss. When she invites you to her private space. This highlights the importance of recognizing the subtle subtext behind invitations to her home or other private settings. The transcript accurately points out that these invitations often come with plausible deniability excuses, providing a socially acceptable reason to get you alone. She might invite you over to fix her laptop or help move furniture, but these are often pretexts designed to create an opportunity for intimacy while preserving her dignity. For example, if she texts you at 9 p.m. saying, "Hey, could you come over and help me set up my new TV?" It's unlikely that she genuinely needs your assistance. As the transcript wryly notes, Best Buy has a whole installation team for that purpose. This is a classic example of an invitation with a hidden agenda. The psychology behind this behavior is rooted in social conditioning. Women are often socialized to avoid appearing too forward or aggressive in their pursuit of romantic interests. These innocent pretexts allow her to express interest while protecting herself from potential judgment or rejection. Key considerations: timing and context. When interpreting these invitations, pay close attention to the timing and context. Late evening invitations are more likely to have intimate undertones than afternoon requests. Similarly, if she mentions that her roommate is away for the weekend, that's not random information. It's a clear signal that she's creating an opportunity for privacy and intimacy. Beyond the obvious, subtle invitations and opportunities. Invitations to private space don't always have to be explicit. She might subtly steer the conversation toward activities that could naturally lead to spending time alone together. For example, she might suggest watching a movie at her place or grabbing coffee at a secluded cafe. These subtle invitations are often a way of testing the waters and gauging your interest. If you respond positively to these suggestions, she may become more direct in her invitations. Responding appropriately, balancing enthusiasm and respect. When faced with an invitation to her private space, it's essential to strike a balance between enthusiasm and respect. Show that you're interested in spending time with her, but avoid being overly eager or presumptuous. Accept the invitation graciously and offer to help with the stated purpose, but also be prepared to transition to a more intimate setting if she signals her desire to do so. Pay attention to her body language and verbal cues, and if you sense any hesitation or discomfort, immediately back off. The importance of reading the room and respecting boundaries. Ultimately, the key to navigating these situations successfully is to read the room and respect her boundaries. If she seems genuinely interested in pursuing a romantic connection, feel free to reciprocate her advances. However, if she seems uncomfortable or hesitant, it's essential to respect her wishes and avoid pushing her beyond her comfort zone. Remember, consent is paramount, and it's crucial to ensure that she's comfortable and enthusiastic about taking things to the next level. Sign number 5. Dressing up to impress. The visual language of attraction. Now let's talk about visual cues, specifically when she starts dressing differently around you. This is a sign that's literally staring you in the face, but most men completely miss it. This highlights the importance of paying attention to changes in her style when she knows she's going to see you. The key isn't just looking for overtly sexy clothing. It's looking for changes in her usual style. If a woman who usually wears casual clothes suddenly shows up in a dress, or if she's wearing more makeup than usual, that's a clear signal that she's trying to attract you. The transcript succinctly states, "Women don't dress up for guys they're not interested in." It's that simple. If she's putting in extra effort with her appearance when she knows she'll see you, she's trying to attract you sexually. The psychology is primal. It's about displaying her best features and making herself more attractive to a potential mate. But there's also a modern twist. It's about making you think about her in a more sexual way. Decoding the signals beyond the clothes. While clothing is an obvious indicator, there are other subtle visual cues to watch for. Pay attention to her accessories. Is she wearing jewelry that she doesn't usually wear? Is she carrying a stylish handbag that she's never used before? Also, observe her grooming habits. Is her hair perfectly styled? Is her makeup flawless? Is she wearing perfume that you haven't smelled before? These are all signs that she's putting in extra effort to look her best for you. The color code. Understanding the psychology of color. The color she chooses to wear can also be revealing. Red, for example, is often associated with passion and desire. Black can be seen as sophisticated and alluring. Lighter colors, such as pink and white, can convey innocence and femininity. Pay attention to the colors she wears and how they relate to her overall style and personality. If she suddenly starts wearing colors that are more suggestive or attention-grabbing, it's likely that she's trying to attract your attention. The importance of compliments and positive reinforcement. If you notice that she's dressed up to impress you, be sure to offer her a genuine compliment. Tell her that she looks beautiful or that you like her outfit. This will not only make her feel good about herself, but also reinforce her behavior, making her more likely to dress up for you in the future. Beyond the superficial, confidence and self-esteem. While dressing up to impress is a common tactic for attracting attention, it's important to remember that true attractiveness comes from within. A woman who is confident and comfortable in her own skin is far more attractive than a woman who is simply trying to conform to societal standards of beauty. Focus on building a genuine connection with her and appreciating her for who she is, both inside and out. This will not only make her feel good about herself, but also create a stronger and more lasting relationship. Sign number 6, drawing attention to her lips, the subconscious signal. This is probably the most subtle yet powerful sign. When she draws attention to her lips, this highlights the significance of lip-related behaviors as indicators of sexual interest. The transcript correctly points out that this isn't just about the obvious lip-biting seen in movies. It's more nuanced than that. Watch for behaviors like slowly applying lip gloss while maintaining eye contact, running her fingers across her lips while listening to you, taking extra time with her drink straw. These aren't random actions. They're subconscious signals of sexual interest. As the transcript explains, the lips are an erogenous zone, and drawing attention to them is a primal way of suggesting intimacy. When she touches or emphasizes her lips while interacting with you, she's subconsciously highlighting a sexual feature. Pro tip: context is key. If she's regularly doing this while also maintaining strong eye contact, that's not a coincidence. She's creating a sexual connection without saying a word. The key is to notice if these behaviors increase when she's talking specifically to you compared to others in the group. That's your confirmation that this isn't just her normal behavior. Beyond the obvious, expanding the lip-reading lexicon. While the behaviors listed above are common indicators, there are other subtle cues to watch for. Pay attention to the way she talks. Does she speak in a softer, more breathy voice when she's talking to you? Does she lick her lips frequently? Also, observe her reactions when you talk about intimate topics. Does she blush or become flustered? Does she look at your lips when you're talking? These are all signs that she's interested in you sexually. The power of mimicry. Mirroring lip movements. Humans often subconsciously mimic the behavior of those they're attracted to. If you notice that she's mirroring your lip movements, such as pursing her lips or licking them, it's a strong indication that she's attracted to you. The importance of dental hygiene. A sign of attentiveness. While seemingly unrelated, paying attention to her dental hygiene can also be a sign of attentiveness. If she's making an effort to keep her teeth clean and white, it suggests that she's conscious of her appearance and wants to make a good impression. The art of the kiss, the ultimate lip signal. Of course, the ultimate lip signal is the kiss. If she initiates a kiss or responds enthusiastically to your advances, it's a clear indication that she's interested in taking things to the next level. Sign number 7, creating future intimate scenarios. Planting the seed. Let's talk about one of the most powerful signs that gets overlooked. When she starts dropping subtle hints about future scenarios with you. This emphasizes the importance of recognizing subtle suggestions about future shared experiences as indicators of interest. The transcript clarifies that this isn't about planning your wedding after one date. It's about creating scenarios where intimacy could naturally develop. She might say, "Oh, I make amazing pancakes for breakfast," or "My place has this perfect spot for watching sunset movies." She's not just sharing random facts about her life. She's painting pictures of intimate moments. The psychology here is fascinating. Women typically don't invest emotional energy in men they see as just friends. When she's mentally including you in her future, even in subtle ways, she's already imagining more intimate scenarios. For example, if she says things like, You're going to love this hidden wine bar, I know. Notice the certainty in her language. Not, would you like to see? But you're going to see. That's emotional investment right there. Distinguishing friendly versus flirtatious future talk. The transcript highlights key differences between friendly and sexually interested future talk. She suggests private rather than group activities. Her scenarios often involve her personal space. She emphasizes evening or intimate settings. She's specific about details involving just you two. Responding strategically. Mirroring investment. Avoiding jumping the gun. Don't jump the gun and start planning your whole future together. Instead, mirror her level of investment. If she suggests future plans, respond positively but keep things in the same time frame she's suggesting. Beyond the broad strokes, nuances in future scenario planning. While the core examples are helpful, there are more subtle ways she might signal this. She could mention an upcoming concert or event that she'd like to attend, implying that she'd like you to go with her. She could talk about a new restaurant that she's been wanting to try, hinting that she'd like you to take her there. She could also talk about her travel plans, suggesting that you might want to visit her or that she might want to visit you. These are all subtle ways of planting the seed for future intimacy. The power of we, the collective future. Pay attention to her use of the word we. If she starts using we when talking about future activities, it's a strong indication that she's seeing you as a potential partner. For example, she might say, "We should go hiking sometime," or "We should try that new restaurant." The importance of availability and shared interests. When responding to these future scenario suggestions, be sure to express your availability and your shared interests. If she suggests going hiking, tell her that you love hiking and that you'd be happy to go with her sometime. If she suggests trying a new restaurant, tell her that you've been wanting to try it too and that you'd be happy to take her there. Creating opportunities. Taking the initiative. While it's important to respond positively to her suggestions, it's also important to take the initiative and create opportunities for future intimacy. Suggest activities that you think she'd enjoy, and make it clear that you'd like to spend time with her. Important considerations: context, personality, and genuine intent. When interpreting all these signs, remember that context is paramount. Also, consider her personality. Some women are naturally more flirtatious than others. Finally, always strive for genuine connection and be respectful of her boundaries. This exploration into the subtle language of female attraction has provided a comprehensive framework for recognizing the signs of interest, understanding the underlying psychology, and responding appropriately. From the power of touch and suggestive conversation to revealing body language and invitations to private spaces, we've examined a range of verbal and nonverbal cues that can help you decipher a woman's intentions. However, it's crucial to remember that this is not a foolproof guide to predicting romantic success. Every individual is unique, and there are no guaranteed formulas for attracting someone. The principles discussed here are intended to enhance your awareness, improve your communication skills, and foster genuine connections based on mutual respect and desire. The biggest mistake men make is either missing these signs altogether or overreacting to them. Find the balance. Be cool, be confident, and most importantly, be respectful. If you're seeing 3 or more of these signs consistently, chances are she's interested in taking things to a more intimate level. The ball is in your court. Don't drop it, but don't force it either. Key takeaways. Touch is a primal signal. Pay attention to subtle touches and escalate gradually, mirroring her level of intimacy. Intimate conversations build connection. Engage in personal discussions, but respect her comfort level. Body language speaks volumes. Observe gestures, posture, and eye contact for nonverbal cues of attraction. Invitations to private space are often coded. Decode the subtext and respond with enthusiasm and respect. Dressing up is a visual signal. Notice changes in her style and offer genuine compliments. Lips are an erogenous zone. Recognize subtle lip-related behaviors as indicators of sexual interest. Future scenarios suggest investment. Respond positively to suggestions for shared experiences and take the initiative to create opportunities for intimacy. Context is crucial. Interpret signals within the overall context of the interaction and consider her personality and cultural background. Respect is paramount. Always prioritize respect for boundaries and consent. Genuine connection matters. Focus on building a strong emotional connection based on trust and mutual understanding. This guide provides a starting point for understanding the complexities of female attraction. By continuing to learn, observe, and practice, you can develop your skills in recognizing these signs and navigating romantic encounters with greater confidence and success. Ultimately, the key to building meaningful relationships lies in genuine connection, open communication, and mutual respect. By embracing these principles, you can create a more fulfilling and rewarding romantic life. The biggest mistake men make is either missing these signs altogether or overreacting to them. Find the balance. Be cool, be confident, and above all, be respectful. If you're seeing 3 or more of these signs consistently, chances are she's interested in taking things further. This guide is just the start. Keep learning, observing, and practicing to master these cues and navigate romance with greater success. After all, meaningful relationships are built on genuine connection, open communication, and mutual respect. And there you have it, the 7 subtle clues we've explored today. I hope this has shed light on what's often overlooked and given you the confidence to act in alignment with your worth in true Stoic fashion. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this valuable, please hit like, subscribe to the Stoic Horizon, and share it to spread these lessons. Keep refining yourself, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.